much more excited because about a month and a half ago, the beginning of April, right? The beginning of April, I was invited down to the University of Miami in Ohio. I thought it was University of Miami, Florida, but it was actually Ohio. And they brought me down there to talk and to give a comedy show, and I met a Palestinian activist there who I heard her speak, and I was so moved by when she spoke. And then, of course, I said to her, we have to invite you to Michigan. And then, by no surprise, they started their own student encampment at the University of Miami, Ohio. And now she's here with us today. So please help me welcome our Palestinian Center from the University of Miami, Maysa Constandinidis.
Thank you so much. You better hope the Miami students don't hear you because it's Miami University, not University of Miami. But it's okay, it's okay. Ooh, this is not Oxford, Ohio anymore. We are in Dearborn. I love to see it. Love to see more than 5 Palestinians here. It's just so wonderful to be surrounded by my people. I mean, it's great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here today. So there have been encampments around all these universities, and if you guys don't know about Oxford, Ohio, we're in the middle of nowhere. If you drive, you just see fields upon fields. You turn again, there's more fields. Like Oxford, Ohio, literally nowhere. So when we had an encampment, people were confused. They never thought Miami University was gonna have an encampment. There has not been action, any type of activism in Miami University in 15 years. Since the anti-Vietnam War protests, there has not been any sort of activism. We decided, hey, that's not gonna stop us because there's an issue and we're gonna talk about it. So we studied on the anti-Vietnam War protests when they took over Rowan Hall. 6 hours, over 100 students. They brought in police from outside towns. They brought in police from outside towns when we had encampment. They had a canine. They brought in a lot of police. But that didn't stop us, and we were completely peaceful. But why were they not happy? Why are they not happy when students do these encampments? Because all eyes are on them. All eyes are on Palestine. They don't like that type of attention. They don't like to be held accountable. They don't like that their lies are being revealed. How come Miami University, the president of Miami University, did not meet with us until May 1st? And the only reason he met with us is because of the encampment at Columbia and OSU. And he said this was from another administrator. He did not want us to become Columbia or OSU. Surprise, we did. Our encampment lasted for 3 days. And as I told the administrators, how come this is the most we've seen your faces than we've seen these last 2 semesters? They talk about following policy, but policy doesn't get us what we want. Policy never gets them to listen to us. Policy doesn't get us the truth. Policy doesn't get them to listen to our demands or even look at our demands. The president hadn't even looked at our demands. We had did a sit-in in his office. And an administrator told us, I'm sorry to tell you, he hasn't even looked at your demands. What do you mean? He hasn't even looked at our demands. They don't care about us. They don't care what we do until we break these rules, until we break these policies. And the encampments aren't even about us. It's about paying attention to Palestine and what's happening in Palestine. But the news tries and changes it. Look at these terrorists, look at these protesters. We're peaceful. We had a Shabbat. We were singing, we were making signs. And you brought in all these cops, you brought in a whole canine. For what? Because students were coming together to spread awareness and were taking up space on their campus? It's extremely frustrating. And on that Saturday, they told us that if we decide we have to leave by 9 p.m., if we do not leave, our organizations SJP and YDSA will be suspended. We asked them what would happen to the individuals. They said we won't answer that question. Okay. So we had to make the decision, and a lot of outside people don't agree with this, but we decided everybody who was in the encampment had a choice, they had a voice. We all talked together and decided democratically, we will leave the encampment. Because at the end of the day, it was a success. They haven't seen this type of action in 15 years. All eyes were on us. So we left, but this is just the beginning. It is not the end of our encampment. And for many students, encampments might be ending, but this is just the beginning for many students. This generation, we will fight, and we are fearless, and we will keep going, because we will fight until Palestine is free. We saw what our parents, what our grandparents went through. We saw the pain. I see the pain in my grandparents' eyes. I see the pain in my mother's eyes when she talks about Palestine. It hurts. But I also see the joy when she talks about Palestine. I am the first generation. I was born here. The opportunity to be born in Palestine was taken away. It was stolen from me. I will fight for Palestine until my last breath. This is not just a Palestinian, this is not just an Arab issue, a Muslim. This is a human issue. This is a global issue. This is why there's a Miami University SJP. We are a PWI. We are in Oxford, Ohio. I am the only Palestinian on my exec board, okay? We are bringing in another Palestinian, but this is a human rights issue. What I'm here to tell you guys is if Miami University can do it, anybody can do it. You just have to care and you have to have passion, because what's happening in Palestine is not okay. This is a war crime, this is a genocide. Anybody, it doesn't matter what age you are, it doesn't matter what race, what ethnicity, what religion, no. These Palestinians deserve life. They deserve to be happy. So I hope, whether you're a student, no matter who you are, we need you, we need our community. Our universities are lying to us. We need people to tell us the truth. We need lawyers. We need anybody in whatever profession you are to help us, because we need guidance. We don't know what we're doing. This is our first time doing it, but hey, we're gonna fight and we're gonna keep trying to the end, because that's what we do, because that's what we're passionate about. So to all the universities, we will continue to reveal every lie, whether small, whether big. We will reveal every lie one by one. And until you divest, and until you realize that what's happening in Palestine is a genocide, because we had a meeting with the university and they would not even say what's happening in Palestine is a genocide. They said it's a loss of life, but it's not a genocide. And they said that the divestment is performative. Divestment is not performative. If you look at the South African apartheid, divestment is what helped. Anyways, that's Miami University. But we will keep fighting and we will keep going. So free Palestine until it's back.